Good morning, good morning. Should probably start talking after I click the unmute button for the microphone, but hey, different people. Anyways, good morning, stacking. Happy Monday. It is kind of feeling like a Monday today, but we can turn that around. How y'all doing? How are you doing, stacking? I am continue. Let's see, where were we? What were we doing? We are on the create basic play clearing. You'll be running to a meeting very shortly here. Ooh, have fun with your meeting. Yeah, I have these days. I have way more meetings than I've had in like places I've worked with in the past. It's a very interesting. And COVID doesn't help, but I had meetings before that too, before COVID started. All right, let's see. We're in the scenes, main scene. So we have all these things that we're doing. And right, we're creating the leaves, the foliage, as it were. So I came to sort of like a realization last night that we can clean this up quite a bit by creating basically a static game object, and then those are going to be ones that we don't necessarily run an update on, but we need to build every once in a while and then put all together. So for example, if probably not in scenes, but out of the main library. So if I create just in source here, a new folder called game objects, I will have a mod because of course we have to have that. And inside of the mod, we're gonna create some traits to go in here. So I guess first in the main library, that's mod. You also need to pin this project so it goes to your GitHub widget. That is a really good point. I completely forgot that the GitHub widget is only looked at pinned projects. Let's fix that right now. So in jungle, oh wait, this isn't it. You go here, then go to customized, click on that, say pins. Done. Thank you for letting me know, stacking. This is gonna be game objects. Here we're gonna have a hub. Great. I think this is gonna be static game object. So I'm probably gonna have like an updatable game object and like a static game object. And so like the static game objects are going to be things like the bedrock, the cave itself, the ground, the surface, all of those things. And so we can basically have them as separate objects that we then throw into a vector or probably we'll throw it into some kind of game data structure. But this allows me to then put them into different folder, like different files that can go inside of here. So we're going to have a function, probably with this, the only thing we're really going to care about is draw. So I don't think we need mutable self, and we're just going to need context. Let's go. And game results, and that's pretty much going to be it. And so then it will handle the drawing of itself. Okay, so that's fine. And then the next thing we want to do is create like the first thing. So the bedrock was the first one down, so let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to do a mod. So this is going to be a pub mod bedrock. And so then inside of here, I create a bedrock. All right, now you can find it. And so now we can create, I don't know if we need a structure for it. It probably would be helpful to create a structure for this, even if there's no data in it. So we could do a struct bedrock. And do I need to? I don't know if I need to like have like the width and height stored inside of it, because we have that inside of the config. Although maybe we can have it like store that away for later. I don't know. If I just do something like this, we have a pub struct bedrock, but then we. Oh no! You know what we do need? We need to store the mesh. So we're gonna have a mesh. Okay, so import bedrock. Okay, so pub function new. To create a mesh, I think we're gonna need. Well, okay, we're gonna need the config. Context. All right, so now we can come back to the main scene. And so we have this bedrock here. So bedrock equals this new mesh builder. We can now take this, put this in here. So we create this is going to be just the mesh. Equals this. It figures out what you are, so we can see we're getting into the config. And we're going to return okay. New return. You're going to return okay, bedrock. All right. Okay. So we need to pull in mesh builder, raw mode. Okay. So then you're all happy now. So the way I would use this is in the main scene. Let's say for right now we have bedrock there. Instead of doing this here, we'll do bedrock equals, and this will be bedrock new. And we need to import that in. We need to pass into two arguments, which is the config and the context. All right, so that gives us the bedrock, which is now stored inside of here. And then we can make this, we could make this one better by storing all of these inside of like a hash map. And I think that we need to do it in a hash map because the trees are going to change. Like we're just going to change the position of the trees every time. And that means we have to know which ones they are at the beginning of each page. But then after that, we don't change them. Either that or we'll have a messaging system where we're gonna have to like send out a message. Hey, we changed page. Whoever cares about that, we changed the page. That could be interesting too. Right now, let's not worry about that too much. I'm thinking a hash map for all of these, or like the static factors. So let's pull that in here. So we can do static background. There's going to be a hash map. For the key, we could have a type of like the static background, but it might make more sense for it just to be a string in this case. We can do a string. And then the other one would be a box that dynamically implements, what do we call this? Static game object. So like that, you need to pull you in. All right, so obviously you're not happy that we haven't implemented you. So in Bedrock, we now want to import static object for Bedrock. Then we have just this draw. So it'll bring in context and return a game result. And so then this is where under the draws here, we're drawing all these like static game results. It's not the best, but here, for example, we're gonna tell it where it goes. That should be that. Now the tree trunk, I get some interesting things. So I don't know whether or not I need to. Well, actually, it wouldn't matter. So like for this one, this is what it's gonna be like. Graphics draw, that. And so it's going to be self.mesh. All right. So that gives us a static game object. And so then in our main scene, what I want to do is create our static game object here. So that static, maybe this could be static game objects. Okay, so static game objects equals hash map new. You will need to be mutable. Okay, so you need to be mutable. Then I can start inserting in. So we want to create the bedrock and insert that in. Okay, so what is that going to look like? Static game objects dot insert. The key in this case could be the string bedrock. You're gonna have to be 2 owns, so that you're a string, and then this is gonna be the bedrock, and move you up here. Oh, and you need to be a box, so it's gonna be a box new bedrock, like that. And then down here we're going to that makes you less. What are you upset about? Oh, it doesn't implement debug. Okay, so we need to implement debug for this. Oh, I remember we did this before. Now, I don't need to implement debug on here. And that will make it more happy. So you are... Right, so... Now, move you. We don't have the bedrock here anymore. And then everywhere we're using bedrock is upset. So when I'm drawing bedrock, that doesn't happen here anymore. Why are you upset? Did I... Oh, because I inserted some extra characters. That's cool. Okay, and static game objects, you're upset. Mismatch types, expected, struct, standard collections hash map. Something, standard box, 9. Okay, so plus static, found struct, design collections, hash map, box, game objects, bedrock. Huh. You are upset. Why are you upset? Okay, so you want to be a box with dynamic static game object in here. And I want you, okay, so here's the hash map, new. I create you, so bedrock to owned, and then box new bedrock, which is implements this static game object. Okay. Oh wait, do I need to pull that in? Is that my problem? Oh, static game object right here. Okay, so I am pulling that in, so it does know what that is. Let me go ahead and actually run this and see if I can get a better error message. Okay, expected trait object, dyn, game object, static game object, found struct game objects, bedrock. Did I not? I thought I boxed it up. Yeah, so in the value here, we have a box new, and then we put bedrock in there. So it is boxed up. And then a box is implementing a dyn static game object. And bedrock does implement that, so that should be fine. I mean, I would think that it should be fine. You don't have any hints either, do you? Interesting. I could swear I would be able to do that. I guess not. I guess I could. I don't want to have to like throw these into a vector, but I guess for right now, I could, until I figure out like why is this not happy with me? Yeah, it's the game object is the trait. Bedrock implements that. Yeah, I'll have to. Right now, I'll leave this out. We'll figure it out later. So we're gonna say Bedrock is. Let me try this. So if I do like static game objects, if I make this a vector um, that holds a box that holds a dyn static game object, if I do that, are you equally unhappy? So let's say we do a vec new, and then here we create the bedrock, and then we're gonna push the new bedrock. Then down here, okay, so yeah, okay, so it's the same problem. So I think, did I forget how to do this? How am I doing this in Get the Streamer game? Because I know that we have like game objects. So here we have like this game object type, and game object type comes here. So okay, oh no, that's the wrong one. Yes, it's in here. Object game object. Oh, because like, so the game object is normal. It's the systems. Like for example, on life system, we have in this mod. Here we have this pub trait. So we have this pub trait, very similar here. Thank you, Zilby. Well, now I can't drink this. Zilby just walked by and accidentally stepped her foot into my teeth. So, thank you, Zilby. No more caffeine this morning. Hopefully I got enough of it to last through the stream. Okay, so we have this, and then back here we just choose one of these life systems. We can see that we input life system for player life system like that, and that's fine. And then we have in the game object life system is an option box dyn life system. I mean, so that sort of feels kind of like what I'm doing is the box dyn whatever the thing is, a trait. Is it because I can't do it to... So if I just did this here, if I just said in main scene, instead of like static game objects, what if I put in background, and you are a box dyn static game object. What if I did that? So then remove you. Okay, so we have the bedrock here. And then down here, I have the, what is it called again? It's background. Box new. And then we would put in just the bedrock. Now you're not unhappy. Oh, okay. So if I take all of you out, like, okay, so take all of these meshes out. We just have the background like that. Do that too. Obviously, you're unhappy because like we want you to full scene for main scene. Let's comment all of you out. Right, so you don't know what you're supposed to be. Okay, so but this seems to work. We're able to create this, put it into the box, and it's dynamic. Okay, that's a good start. So now if I say static game objects, and then I put this into a vector that holds this. Books. Good morning, hello. And then after we create your bedrock, let's go ahead and push this in. Static game objects, push. Oh, I need to update that because it's no longer WebAssembly. We've pivoted slightly away. Okay, extend our static game objects. Put down here. Okay, and we're back to this problem again. So it expected plus static. What am I doing? I didn't tell you anything to do with static, did I? Don't think I did. But there's no mesh. Here, we just have the mesh in there. You don't implement their here, so we could do. Where did we do it here? We have this where, so maybe we can implement static into here. What does that look like? That's just where. Okay, self colon, where self colon, and then we need static wherever that is coming from. So what are you? Plus static like that. Okay. So if I do that, are you happier? No, you're still just as happy. Where you're expecting. Oh wait, maybe it's on this side. Maybe it's not here. Maybe it's here in main scene. I want to say that you're at plus static. Oh no, but it's saying that it just found game objects bedrock. How in the previous one did we create the object? That would be in the main library. We're passing in. Yeah, so like here's player draw system, like box new. Wait a second, did I forget the box new part? Bedrock new, push. Oh, man, I forgot to put it in box. Box new, bedrock. So if I do that, I don't want to be static. Okay, you're still unhappy. So expected this, found this. Plus static, huh? Okay, so now this we have to put where self static. No, that still has the same problem then. And the bedrock is importing static game object for bedrock. That's the static game object. The main scene. We're pulling in, use create static game object from game objects. We don't have your public. Your public. Public there. Public there. You're all public in the appropriate spots. Do I need to create it like up above? The big difference that I can see that we did last time, I guess like one of it is it was in an option, which I don't want to have to do. But we basically, okay, we didn't do anything crazy to let's tell it that it's static. We just box new with that. Our derives. We have nothing inside of game state here. How does WebAssembly work? So WebAssembly is basically just a file. Think of it just like a JSON source file. You generate it and then you just send it up to the browser, and then you can call functions inside of it from JavaScript. So that's like the gist of it. Creating the WebAssembly is where the most like the work comes in. You write in a language. You could write in JavaScript. You need a compiler that compiles that to WebAssembly and creates the WebAssembly file, and then that's what you send. But here, I forgot to update. Should just update that right now. No longer using WebAssembly for this project. It is something I want to do. Still want to do for this project. So, update project. plus 3 easy. Alright, so now if we do project, we get that.
Here we go.
Alright. So it's a bit disappointing. I was so sure I'd be able to do this. I think that this is all fine here. I don't think we need to implement this. I don't think we should have to do that. In our main scene, where we're holding like our static game objects, we have this vector of box9 static game object. Like, I would think that should be enough to let it know what it needs to do, memory-wise. But apparently not. Which is a little bit sad. So I think right now, we'll just have we'll just throw all this in here. So we'll just have bedrock, and you'll be a type bedrock. I'll keep. I don't really need this anymore, do I? Because the trait is kind of useless if I can't use the dynamic dispatch. I guess it can keep me honest, but and if we do figure out a way to like go back to this, that'll be really nice. Okay, so in our main scene, we create the new bedrock. We don't push it in there. So we create this new bedrock, and we throw that into the main scene. That's going to be bedrock. And then update, we don't have anything to do in there, but in draw, we're going to do a self.bedrock.draw and the context. And there we go. So then this begins drawing out the bedrock. So if we run this, we get that bottom bedrock layer right there. Okay, so let's create the rest of these. The next one up after the bedrock is the cave. So we're going to come into our game objects, cave, RS. Now what would be interesting is instead of like bedrock and cave, do we want to create those as like, no, I think I want to just do these as bedrock and cave like that. Okay, so if I duplicate this in here, so you're going to be cave. We're going to have your mesh. Okay, so we create the new one. Mesh equals this. Okay, so let's go find the cave here. Where are you? The ground. Oh, right. We have nothing in the cave. We don't actually have a cave to display out. I forgot about that. Fix, redeem, change music station. Yeah, we can do that. Let's choose, where are we on right now? We're on just Pencil Station. Let's go to let's try some synthwave. Right. Okay. So we don't have cave type stuff. The next thing is going to be the ground, sort of like the underground area or the dirt. So that's actually rename you. Okay. So you're going to be in ground. So instead of cave, ground, we create a new one. Our mesh. Here's the ground. I cut you out. Put you. And then we have our mesh return there, and then we're going to draw the mesh exactly where it is. So here, this is going to be ground. Oh, and I need to, in the mod, hub mod ground, make this available here. All right, so then we want to now draw that. Self dot ground. Did I not store that? I did not. All right, so self to ground dot draw and context. There we go. And that should make it so we can now see the ground. All right, we got that. Next up, the surface. So let's go ahead and surface is gonna be same as this. The big difference is, once again, just changing this out, and also instead of making bedrock, now surface. So main scene, let's find surface. Config. Okay. Back to surface. Our mesh equals view. And then you go down like that. Okay, so I mean, slowly things are becoming much nicer here. Oh, we have an error. Where is our error? Surface. We do have kitty cat though. Ah. Oh, wire. No, as soon as the camera's on you, want to come over here now? All right, we can do that. There we go. And fixed, you redeemed pet cat. We can do that. He's around 5 months old or so. We got him from a rescue a few months ago when he was 10 weeks old. And he's been a regular on the stream ever since. It's pretty awesome. He's getting more and more like high energy as he gets older and like more confident. Mostly good. Obviously, there's some points like during sleep time when he still wants to play. All right, what were we doing? Where are we going? What's happening? Okay, so we have surface. Right. So up here somewhere, I am not. So I'm creating a surface, and I need to question mark this. Okay, so then that makes you happy, and that should now work. So now we have the surface showing. The next thing is we want the like sort of like just the general background. So this is gonna be sort of like the I don't know, like the tree line. I guess it's like we're supposed to show like the general tree like behind it, the color of the background. So I want to. I previously called this just background. I don't know if I want to like just call this. I mean, maybe we just have this be maybe surface background, so I can find some better way of naming it. Okay, and actually go to here. Case 2n. Okay, so you're probably going to be much simpler. It's your surface backgrounds. In our main scene, we're going to find this, what we called background before. Here that is. You remember that one stream where we built Game of Life? Yeah, well, so we've built it twice. We built it once with WebAssembly, and we've done it once with once with Rust and GGEZ. Both of them were pretty nice. Round, import view, new. Config, text, that. Let's call this just surface backgrounds. Why we used your? Oh, why were we using that? So at the time, I was thinking of trying to like abstract out a bunch of the things that I was doing into a third-party library, which we called BBGGEZ, and that had things like being able to create shapes and meshes and other stuff. These days, I've like each of the games have been like just subtly different, and I haven't figured out a really good way of like putting that all in BBGGEZ. Plus, also like I keep on questioning like how long I'm gonna stay with GGEZ, even though like I keep on doing projects in it. So yeah, that was the reason why I was using that back then. I'm doing more complicated stuff these days, so I guess that's the reason why I'm um, I'm like not completely sure how I want to do it. True. Then surface background goes here. Then we're gonna draw it. Okay, so then that should cause us to have the background here like that. Yeah, you shouldn't need it. Hopefully it's self-explanatory, like what's happening inside of there. Okay, so next up would be the trees. So this is where it starts getting interesting. And the reason why we need this to be separate out like this is because when we go to a new page, I need to regenerate the trees. So here, this is gonna be tree trunks. Create a new file. Trunks. Okay, so if I put you in there, do tree trunks like that. Now this is, we're probably gonna move away from just mesh like that. Well, are we? The draw, I think, is going to be more interesting. So, come back to main scene. We're going to have a tree trunk. Also, it's going to have the tree branches in it. That's going to be the really big difference here. So, if I take all of you, yeah, so if we take all of this stuff, like all of this tree trunk, the space between trees to figure out for the positionings, and also the tree branches. We're going to cut that out of here and put that inside of tree trunks. Apparently, I forgot to. Okay, hold on. Hub struct tree trunks. We know we need to config. It's actually just doing there so I don't forget. Okay, so config needs to be config text for you. Results from self. Then inside of here, we're going to have a tree trunk mesh. So this is going to be a mesh. This is going to be, okay, so tree trunk mesh is equal to this. So you, we also need to bring in RNG for this too. So that's going to be a big part of it. If we take a look at here, tree trunk mesh. So when we exit out of new, we're going to return okay, tree trunks, tree trunk mesh. You. Let's now set up RNG. Go back to main scene. This doesn't need to be here anymore. And you go in here. We do need, so rand, we need to, there, okay, we need to bring you in. Okay, bring in a point 2. And tree trunk positions. Right, okay, so then we need the tree trunk positions to be stored away too. That's just going to be an array of these. I think. Yeah. We'll probably get away with, instead of calling this tree trunk positions, call this just trunk mesh. This can be trunk positions is going to be a vec .2 f32 like that. Okay, so we create the mesh. Now space between trees, we figure out what that is, and we also need to create that's trunk positions. Was a vector here, and then this is going to be the trunk positions, and we'll store that away too. That's for the drawing. And then we have the branches. So we have the branch. I'm going to call this branch mesh. Store that away too. Okay, so we have the trunk mesh, the trunk positions, and the branch mesh, and then we'll just sort of like be putting those in their appropriate spots. Do we need the branch positions? I don't think we do. So let's now go back to main scene and find. Okay, so this is mostly cleaned up now. We have leaf points. We're gonna want to like reset this anyways. We're gonna not need you at all. Oh, we're not gonna have the tree line, all that stuff is not gonna go in here. We don't need the tree trunk positions. We just have the map index. We have bedrock, ground, surface, and surface background. Okay, so then in here, we're also going to store away the tree trunks. This is going to be for you. Config, context, and store that away in there. Okay. Next up, the fun part of this, the drawing of it. So, this is background. Let's see, we've done a bunch of these already. So like background, ground, and surface, they're all done. Now we have tree trunk positions here. And that's where it's been getting a little bit crazy. And we're not going to do the leaves. Yeah, so we're iterating through all these. Oh, and then also, these all sort of got messed up. We have the tree branches also showing. Oh, but it's in the try for each. So, okay. This entire thing want to take out and put into the draw method for tree trunks. So we're going to import static name object for tree trunks. Sure, Shock, I just saw your pet the cat, and just when I went to pet the cat, he decided to leave. Oh, I'm so sorry. If he comes back, we'll do some petting. But I guess he decided to go explore around. All right, so let's put you inside of here and uncomment all of you. Let's figure out what we need to do here. Okay, so game results, that's gonna be fine. So for right hand, we want to just return you. So instead of tree trunk positions, I know, it's so sad. This is gonna be self dot trunk positions, and that's gonna be our vector of points. We're going to do the try for each through it. Graphics, we need to put in graphics. This is going to be, okay, so the tree trunk itself gets drawn out first. So this is going to be the trunk mesh. And we also need to pull in rock params. Then we need the branch mesh. Oh, and we need config in here. So, okay, we do need config in draw now. So what that's going to do is inside of this mod, we need config. Which of course is going to make all of these unhappy, but I think... Oh no, I can't do that. Config. Config like that, and... Alright, let's go fix this for everyone. What are you upset about? 3 parameters. Oh, I need to save. I need to make sure I'm using the right keyboard. Okay, so that gives us, now we have our config showing up here. Our drawable, this is going to be the self-dot branch mesh. Oh, and we need to pull in. So, okay, we do have some errors in here, but they're all in main scene. Oh, and that's because we now need to pull in for each of these config as well. Okay. You're happy, and so we're storing away the tree trunks. Go ahead and also do a self dot tree trunks raw. Passing the view. Let's do that. Alright, no errors. Let's see if those show up. There we go. So now we have the tree trunks. They're not perfectly in line with each other or spread evenly apart, and that's purposeful. We have a little bit of randomly, so we put them all in a perfect line and then we shift them just a little bit. And we're gonna do that in order to sort of like make it look like we're moving through the forest and the trees are changing as Otherwise, it might be a little bit hard to sort of like notice that we're in a different screen. Okay, and so finally, we're in the foliage. So this is where we left off last time, and it's the potentially the most difficult part. Let's come into here, file, foliage. Please spell that. Oh, horribly wrong. Foliage. Wait a second. There's also this. Okay. Foliage. So I really want you to be name foliage. Press. Alright, so then in foliage, we can now start creating this. So this is going to be a hub struct foliage, and we're going to need the points of where the foliage is going to be. So this is, well, I guess this is just going to be the mesh. So we're going to care about the mesh here. And that's probably going to be it. Foliage. We're going to need the config. And a context. And return self from you. All right, so with that, how do I want to end up doing this? We're going to use polygon as the type. So we need all the different points across. So if I made just like a square for it, the way that would look would be mesh equals graphics. Actually, we want mesh. So dot polygon mode. This is gonna be draw mode fill, and then the points is gonna be an array of I guess it's just gonna be an array of point twos. So we can fill this out up here. So that points equals, it's gonna be an array, and we're just gonna like shove points. Point two. You know, if we start with just like, I don't know, if we start with just around, just like a square around for the top of the tree line, it goes in, what is it called? It's clockwise order. So if we start like top left, we'll have 0, 0, and 0, 0. And then in the top right, another point 2. And that's going to be config dot resolution x and 0, 0. And then we go down to new. It's still going to be config dot resolution x, and the y is now going to be the tree line. So we have to figure out where exactly the tree line starts. Now we have to do that through math. We're going to start with config dot resolution y, and then we're going to subtract all the different pieces that we need here. So we have start at the bottom, and then we have the what is that going to be? It's going to be the config resolution y. Okay, so minus config dot bedrock height. Minus config dot the cave height. Config dot the ground height. Minus config dot surface height. Minus config dot tree height. Okay, so that's going to give us the bottom right. We want to do the exact same thing for the left. So I'm going to duplicate that. And then this time it's going to be just 0. And then the polygon is closed. Or sorry, the points array are closed. And you become a reference to these points. And then color-wise, we're going to say config dot delete color. Thank you question mark dot build context question mark, and then we're going to turn it okay. Foliage. Like that. Okay, so what are you upset about? Function takes 2 arguments, but 3 were supplied. I want that. Same thing here. Context. You have a context here. Oh, you need to be a mute context. All right, so we're okay here for creating the new foliage. So back to the main scene, and here foliage is the foliage. Okay, so that stores that away. Now, if I want to use it, we need to implement the draw for it. Okay, so foliage, so down here. We now want to pull static. The static inject for foliage. Okay, so function draw here. And now we go. Okay, we don't have any like main scene. I don't think we have anything to do it. Yeah. So self dot foliage dot draw config context. Do that. All right, so now we can just like set this up to draw for us. So you already have our polygon, and I'm thinking we can just draw the mesh. So we're just gonna say self dot mesh graphics draw context self dot mesh. And then draw ram new, and return that. So if we do this, let's see what it ends up looking like. Makes these kind of look like pillars, don't they? So it's, I mean, it works. Like we just made a rectangle. And so what I want to do is like basically go over a little bit, up, maybe up, and then basically create a sine wave. um, as we're going through. There's a couple ways you could potentially do this. I'm thinking if we figure out how long each sort of section is going to be, we can go something like 3 up, and then 3 down, and then 3 more down. So I guess it would be like 3 up, 6 down, 6 up, 6 down, 6 up, something like that, all the way down again. And that's going to have to be calculated out in the new part of it, so it's not really going to affect the gameplay frame rate at all. So let's open up our config. And so we have leave shift by 40. Yeah, I don't think I want this. Pitfall with a roam spin. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so I think now might be a good point for us to like change this to foliage. So foliage, and then this is going to be each section length. So section width. Oh no, it's going to be the number of them. Because we don't. Is that true? Yeah, I think section. So if I do something like 10 of them. Oh, that would be okay. Hold on. Foliage points. Yeah, I like that. That'll be 10 of them, and then we have the foliage color. So this would be foliage color. If we change that, we have to open up mod and config and update you. So we have foliage points and foliage color. So this is foliage points, foliage color. And if we do that over in here, it's now foliage color. Okay, so now we have foliage points coming in from that the config file. We're gonna want to in here sort of like play with some of these. So let's begin by making this a vector. So we can just do vector like that. So that way, and I think this is still gonna work. Exactly as. Let's verify. It's not yelling at us. We did not. Okay. Missing field leaf ship by on where? Mod line 53. Oh, leaf ship by. We don't have it. We just have foliage. That's why. Okay, so you're all happy still. What I want to do is, for each of those points, to calculate how wide each point is going to be. So we have you. It's our points. So we're going to do viewpoints. I'm also going to remove these last. So we're going to start top right, top left, top right. And then we're going to go down to the bottom right. Let's maybe to make this a little bit simpler, we can set for you on the bottom right your resolution X. Oh, we're going to need like a step up and step down, aren't we? Because if we want it to be going like this throughout it, each step sort of up is going to like draw out a little bit and then up and then draw out a little bit. So we need a like how wide each step horizontally is, and that's going to be the point number is going to control that. But inside of here, we're also going to want to control foliage, the, what is it going to be, like the vertical, like the rise and fall amount. So step, and that could be something like another 10 pixels. So you'd be an F32. Okay, so now I have that in there. Then, if we start all the way over to the right, when we want to start 3 down, that's going to be 3 times that. So we're not going to have U in here. We're instead going to go, okay, so minus this, and then we want to plus, plus 3 times, 3 times the config dot foliage step. Oh, we probably want some like step amount and like step count, so that this can also be a variable inside of there. But if I do that, it need to be 0. If I just do that there, and if I leave you in, which is just going to be your 0, and then you didn't have that. Set about 0, 0. Okay. We should see it as a slanted line to the right. Yeah. So this is like 3 steps down. And so we'll want to like put this into the config for like the number of steps down. And so the idea is that this is back to 0, and so we want to go like 3 steps up, which would be something like. So we'll see it go over a little bit, up, 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 down, 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 like down. So that will be like the interesting thing that we're caring about here. However, I am going to have to do that next time because we're getting close to 8:30, which is the time that I need to go head off to work. So let's go ahead and update what we have here. This will, like, when we run this, we're going to see exactly what we need to do. And I'm going to throw in a comment, put this into config, close all of you up. Okay, so the big thing that we did here is we refactored. That meeting lasted 10 times longer than it should have. Now you missed the stream. Oh, I'm so sorry. Meetings, they're so easy to go so long. Okay, so we refactored. We refactored the main scene so that it doesn't care about creating or drawing. Vector main scene no longer cares about how to create or draw the game objects. It's calling them there's that. Go ahead and push you up. And so I think tomorrow we're gonna be pretty close. That foliage line is gonna be the most difficult thing to do, but I don't think it's gonna be that difficult. And plus now all the logic is isolated to each section. We're not gonna be getting really confused by saying like, okay, which part is like the trees, which part is the background, which part is the cave. All of those are in a separate files. Makes it so much easier. But well, with that being said, I am going to go ahead and switch over to my ending screen. Thank you everybody so much for stopping by and watching. I am doing these streams every single weekday morning at 7 a.m. Mountain Time, so we'll be back tomorrow to continue working on this. Sorry, Stacking, that you had that like big long meeting, but maybe tomorrow you won't. And with that, I'll see you all next time. Have a great day, and happy coding. Bye.